Hello everybody and welcome once again to the Global Business Update with TA. The startup industries, the startup sector is doing quite well, raising more than 8.5 billion funds so far for this year, and it's on track to be the best performing year for startups. Even Indian startups are catching up with China and the US startup funding. Meanwhile, the cost of saving the global economy, when you consider all the different stimulus packages given, it's accumulating to about more than $800 million per hour. That's right. When you look at the past 1 year and 6 months or the 18 months of the pandemic and the amount of money that has been given as various stimulus packages by governments, including US that has gone into trillions of dollars of stimulus packages, that's the cost of saving the global economy. When will it return to the normal boom? Well, your guess is as good as mine. Meanwhile, the IMF has blocked a payment it was due to make to the Afghanistan government no sooner the Taliban has taken over. This could be yet another blow to the Taliban government, which is trying various ways to come back and bring back the economic activities to normal. Remember, Afghanistan was already struggling with very high inflation, and the latest developments of the Taliban taking over and the IMF cutting it off the funding list. This could lead to more governments, more banking systems around the world blocking them off with regard to having access to the global banking and finance activities, and that could plunge the economy even further. Already, the citizens are unable to get the money they need as banks and so many other financial institutions have ceased to trade. Sustainability-related investments have hit more than $35 trillion so far, and this is one of the highest, in fact, the highest recorded level of investments into this sector in the given history. Looks like investors are betting heavily on sustainability related industries, but there are some confusions as to how these ESG related claims and ESG related investments get accounted. But overall, by many metrics, this seems to be a golden year so far for ESG related investments, as the investors are getting serious with regard to making money and also saving the planet. Supersized gains of some of the retail giants seems to be halting. As we know, Home Depot, Target and so many other retailers had a stellar year despite the pandemic, with more people spending time at home, meaning they had to order more food for consumption, more items for the homes and etc. In fact, that was one of the biggest shocks with regard to consumer behavior that companies were not ready for. So Target, Home Depot had a stellar year. However, looks like currently they are experiencing a return back to normalcy, with the levels of spending, that supersized spendings at home and on home related items slowing down, which might indicate that with the vaccinations program being on and also with more people returning to the outdoors, that the performance expected from that sector might have to be brought down and toned down. Meanwhile, back to India in terms of the business news, a $1.35 trillion investment is being made into the infrastructure sector as the Modi government hopes to improve especially the construction related jobs as a way of improving some aspects at least of the economy. Remember, due to the Delta variant, their economy was hit hard, and while they are slowly recovering back from that shock to the healthcare system as well, much has to be done to improve the economic conditions of the country, especially in a time that the regional giants such as China is indeed way ahead in terms of the recovery and being back to business. Hopefully, these infrastructure investments will help them to improve their ease of doing business index rankings as well. And finally, do you remember that tough time you would have had filling out those long resumes and sending them via email, etc.? Looks like there is an alternative now. And for your next job when you're applying, get ready to do a TikTok video resume like this.
I lost my job. I want the world to know. Redundancies I probably can't say them. So if you have a job that I would soon shoot me a DM. And
how the times have changed, isn't it? Well, that's it for this week. And no matter what business you may be in, stay safe and have a profitable week ahead.